Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. Wow, Conor McGregor, the notorious, speaks on Vasyl Lomachenko in his tweet saying he would help Conor McGregor prepare for Mayweather via sparring partner. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, hit that bell icon. Shout out to the super chats. I went live. I had 2 live streams today going. We had a great time. We had some jokes. We had some fun. We had some questions. We talked boxing. We talked fighting. Good stuff. So I appreciate everyone that donated, both on PayPal and super chat. And there's a couple of people that in the last 2 streams have started a Patreon, and I'm going to get that going more and more for the channel. But shout out to Fight Hub TV. Link is in the description so you can check out their video. Conor McGregor did his media day. That's why I was live streaming, kind of giving my reaction and take on it. And interesting thing said. The question that Fight Hub asked was, what are your thoughts on Lomachenko offering his services to be a sparring partner for you in this camp? And Conor McGregor says, first of all, he's 120 pounds. I mean, he's 130 for the record, plus whatever he walks around with. But what he's basically saying is he's too small. He's not big enough. I'm fighting a guy at 147, or who normally fights at 147, but we're fighting at 154. Floyd does have a couple of fights at 54 and 52, right? So why would I be sparring with the guy who's 120, as he says, but 130? Just basically a lighter guy. He says, second, Lomachenko is a southpaw. Floyd is an orthodox fighter. Conor's a southpaw. So, I mean, what's the point? Now, some fighters are ambidextrous, and I don't know what Lomachenko. He's very skilled, so maybe he could switch, but why not just get a right-hander? And then he says, third of all, I'm more of a Guillermo Rigondeaux fan. He says, I'm more of a Rigondeaux man myself. And he says, where was the mention? He should be worried about that, basically. Where was the mention of Rigondeaux? He has to really challenge himself. I like him. He's very skilled, but he needs to challenge himself more. And he says he has skills, but he seemed disinterested in his last fight. Obviously talking about Miguel Mariaga. And you guys can see it's a very close-up interview while he's getting his hands wrapped. And that's what he's saying. I told you guys in January, it wasn't going to be a good year for many of you. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. And that's what it is. Like, I mean, for me, I was actually shocked because I don't know. When it comes to MMA and boxing, I feel like they're different worlds. I know a lot of guys who, like, just fans, not even like fighters per se, but I know MMA fans, and they don't really know much about boxing because the only time we talk about MMA, but the only time we talk boxing is if it's a mega fight, Conor and Floyd and Pacquiao, Canelo, Triple G, stuff like that. So it impresses me when I hear guys like MMA fighters or MMA fans who are predominantly from the mixed martial arts crowd, and they're talking little known or lesser known people other than Mike Tyson, Pacquiao, Floyd. So the fact that Conor even had the wherewithal to even mention Rigondeaux, that was pretty impressive. Now, because again, I don't know, I cover boxing, so I know a lot of fighters, but I don't expect everyone in MMA to know who Rigondeaux is. You know what I mean? And it's not really Rigondeaux's fault. It's not based on his skill, but look at how he was treated by promoters and networks. They're like, oh, he's garbage. HBO wants to throw up when I mention Rigondeaux. You know what I'm saying? So it's no wonder his star power is not as big as it could be, because he beat Donaire and got blackballed for it. You know what I'm saying? So very impressive that Conor could have a conversation, even speaking to Lomachenko and someone like Rigondeaux. So I thought that was pretty impressive. So shout out to Conor for that. And then besides that, I told y'all got to tell the truth. I made some recent videos and live stream where I'm talking about Lomachenko. He just fought, and I'm giving my statements. And Troy King, I did an interview, asked him his comments. Now that's something I got to touch on real quick. A lot of y'all have this notion that because I interview someone, that is their interview. I don't censor people. Get this. You know what I mean? Because some people are saying, oh, you set Troy King up. He's his own freestanding man. He has his own thought process. He picked Walters to beat Lomachenko. I said Lomachenko would win. He picked Thurman to beat Danny Garcia. I thought Danny Garcia would win. You guys have to understand, no matter who I interview, this is their thoughts and this is their expressions. You know what I mean? If I have something to say, I'm never really at a loss for words. So a lot of people like seem to bleed that through. Like I talked to Paulie Malignaggi. He picked Kell Brook to beat Errol Spence, and I've always picked Errol Spence to beat Kell Brook, and I was right. So you know what I mean? If I interview someone, a lot of y'all bleed the two together. Like I told Troy King what to say. He says what he wants. I don't censor people from that. I had to clear that up because Troy, we did an interview, and whether I agree or not, that's his interview. You know what I mean? That's his thoughts. You know what I mean? People keep bleeding the two together, like, oh, because you keep interviewing him or this person, that person. That's how I feel. That's not what it is. I don't duck or dodge. I'll upload. I have an interview with what's his name, Larry Merchant, after Ward Kovalev. I have an interview with him. I uploaded it like nothing. I didn't agree with nothing what he was saying. He was like, Ward now, and he was saying a lot of stuff, and I didn't agree with it, but I still uploaded it for the fans. You know what I mean? It's not about censorship here. Anyway, back to Conor McGregor. Respects to him for knowing Rigondeaux, and he kind of like called Lomachenko out. Like, you got to challenge yourself. And I told you guys in January it wasn't going to be a good year for you, and we're starting to see it. People aren't settling anymore. 2017 has been a phenomenal year. Kell Brook, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Joshua Klitschko, right? Mayweather, McGregor was a big fight. Canelo, Triple G. We're getting a lot of great fights. And Jermell Charlo versus Hatley, and then now it looks like he's going to be facing against Erickson Lubin. We're getting some good stuff, man. And people aren't just settling anymore. You can't just say stuff. And I'm telling you guys, you're better off conforming to all the people, writers, channels, and stuff like that. You're better off noticing the wave and riding the wave. And to me, the wave is being truthful in the sport of boxing. Everything I said about Vasyl Lomachenko, I would say it to him, I would say it to his team. That's how I really feel. I feel like he's a terrific fighter, but I want to see a little bit more, like avenge your loss. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's not saying you're bad or you haven't improved. I want to see your improvements versus the guy that beat you. We know that style has beaten you at least once, whether it was just because it was your second pro fight. Prove otherwise. Some people are saying, oh, but Rigondeaux's too small for Lomachenko. Let me see that. Rigondeaux, at no matter who you are, and any way you slice it, this is where you guys always get backed into a corner. No matter what you say, Lomachenko, let's say he is too big for Rigondeaux, he will get a lot more credit beating an undefeated Rigondeaux as opposed to beating Miguel Mariaga, a guy who also is moving up and also has 2 losses every time he stepped up in competition, Nicholas Walters and Oscar Valdez. You get more praise for beating a guy who has 2 gold medals just like you. Miguel Mariaga, to my knowledge, don't have 2 gold medals, right? And as a pro, he lost 2 fights. Rigondeaux has that. So Rigondeaux and Lomachenko, when it comes to amateur pedigree, they're pretty up there. You could say Lomachenko has a better record. He has more fights, I think, than Rigondeaux, but it doesn't change that they both have a deep amateur pedigree. So there's not a shadow of a doubt in my mind that Lomachenko would receive more praise for beating somebody that the world perceives as a threat. Mikey Garcia, a guy like Guillermo Rigondeaux, right? Tank Davis. I mean, these are all fights. And some people say, oh, Tank, him and his team don't want the fight right now. Okay, but the world doesn't stop with one fighter. Tank's fighting 3 times a year. He's paving his own way. He's a young champion. They want to build their guy. Okay, he's not the only person. There's other people with belts. There's other people who are calling you out, stuff like that. So I like this kind of mention from Conor McGregor. He's saying, he's an MMA fighter predominantly, and he's saying, where's the talk of Rigondeaux? I like Rigondeaux. Why don't you fight Rigondeaux? So I'm telling you, it's getting bigger than a lot of people think. I've seen Lomachenko's page recently. I've seen Rigondeaux's page recently. And no longer can you just do the stuff that the people did circa before Mayweather and Pacquiao fought, where you could just do these flyby comments and like, oh, this guy's boring, no one wants to see it, because the fans are telling you. Like I said, go to Lomachenko's page. They're like, just fight Rigondeaux. He keeps talking bad about you. Now you have a big name in combat sports like Conor McGregor. He's like, yeah, why don't you fight Rigondeaux? You know what I'm saying? And again, watch the interview. He's saying Lomachenko wouldn't be applicable for this camp. It doesn't really, the logistics don't really add up and make sense. And when I talked to you guys about the call out from Lomachenko, or the, hey, call me, I'll spar with you, since Paulie Malignaggi left camp, I told you it wouldn't happen. Paulie says they're very secret there, very secure, and it's too close to the fight day. They're doing the media day. Anytime they're doing the media days, the camps are pretty much wrapping up. You know what I mean? So why is he going to bring in a southpaw who's maybe even undersized, even though Lomachenko has a good amount of skills? It just doesn't make, the logistics don't make sense. And like I said, he already has this whole deal, this headache with Paulie saying bad things about him and how he treats his camp and stuff like that. So why would you want to bring in another high profile fighter? He already has a fighter like Deshaun Johnson in camp. At the media day, he gave him a lot of praise, like, oh, this is my dude, he's a very solid work and stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think, but the walls are closing in, I'm telling you. And I keep telling you guys, Lomachenko is very talented. See, you notice the people, like the people that I am giving a critique for, whatever you want to call, or hating, whatever people say, I still give them credit. I give them credit, so that's how you know I'm not hating. But look at the flip side. Look at the people that you know hate Andre Ward. They never give him credit for anything, for even fighting Kovalev, despite who you think won and low blow, despite any of that. They won't even give him credit for fighting. You know what I mean? Oh, he missed the press conference. He's scared. He's ducking. He's going to pull out with injury. That's the stuff they say, and that's the stuff they do. I don't do that. I just tell you, if Lomachenko is getting compared to Muhammad Ali, let's see it. Fight a Rigondeaux. That'll show me that you're a Muhammad Ali, or you're worthy of being that. Fight the guy that beat you. That'll prove that you're worthy. Fight Mikey Garcia. You guys got a story brewing. It's that simple. You know what I mean? And I told you, these networks and promoters, they don't realize it. They're better off just doing like the camp life and the little HBO 24/7s and specials, talking about their fighters on the telecast and bigging them up like that. But when they go above and beyond and start saying they're the greatest thing since, like, so Muhammad Ali, rest in peace. He hasn't fought for a while. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen a ton of great fighters. Julio Cesar Chavez, Roberto Duran, Tommy Hearns, right? We've seen Pernell Whitaker, Floyd Mayweather, Pacquiao. We've seen all these great fighters. So for you to pretty much skip over all those, Terry Norris, Gerald McClellan, all these guys, skip over all of them and say this guy's the best, then you got to show it with the competition too. You know what I mean? Okay, he could beat Jason Sosa easy. You look at his last two fights, Jason Sosa and then also Miguel Mariaga. It wasn't really a secret that he would beat those guys. You know what I mean? Most people had him the easy favorite. And it's just because they haven't even proven that they were on his level to begin with. And that's just as simple as it gets. So I like Conor's speech here in this interview. Check it in the conversation, or the conversation in the interview. Let me know your thoughts. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego. Signing.